Okay, so let's start dito sa ating example number 1 for our aggregate planning. So ito po yung problem natin. So planners for a company that makes several modes of tractors are about to prepare an aggregate plan that will cover 6 periods. So as you can see dito sa ating problem, may mga highlights po ako. So para po um, mas ma-take note natin lahat ng important details. So kayo kapag po nagpa-problem solving or nagsasolve din kayo ng ganitong klaseng problem, ay better din po talaga na basahin nyo ng maayos, underline those important words na nakalagay po sa problem. Para wala kayong ma-skip kasi tayo ay nagpaplano. So dapat lahat po ng constraints and lahat po ng information is makonsider natin. So ito yung given po sa atin na forecast demand or the requirement. So we have a total of 6 months. For 6 months, meron tayong total requirement na 1,800 units. Wherein, ito po yung cost natin. So we have for regular time per unit or per tractor, we have $2, overtime $3, subcontracting $6, inventory, meron tayong $1 per period on average inventory, and then back orders na $5 or tractor per period. So sabi dito, they now want to evaluate a plan that calls for steady rate of regular time output. So paano pag sinabing steady rate of regular time output? Anong gagamitin nating strategy? So we will use the level capacity strategy. Okay, so mainly using inventory to absorb the uneven demand, bit allowing some backlog. So they intend to start with 0 inventories on hand in the first period. So ibig sabihin po, yung atin pong beginning inventory ng first period, puntahan niyo yung inyong copy ng table. So yung unang page na inyong pinaprint, yun muna gagamitan natin. So may nakalagay dyan na beginning inventory. So sa beginning inventory daw ay 0 sa first period. Okay? And then prepare an aggregate plan and determine its cost using the preceding information. So assume a level output rate of 300 units tractor per period with regular time. So ibig sabihin nito ay doon daw po sa ating output during regular time ay may capacity daw tayong 300 units per period. And then note that a planned ending inventory is 0 and there are 15 workers. Okay, so using po yung mga naka-highlight nating details, meron na tayong may input na. Okay, wait lang. Meron na tayong may input dito sa ating plan. Wait lang, paliitin ko lang ng konti ha. So hopefully nakikita nyo pa din. Ayan. And then, wait lang, hanapan lang natin ng swak na, ng swak na size. Ito, wait lang. Ayan, so anong sabi? Okay, so isa-isahin natin yung input. So again, ang gagamitin natin dito is level strategy with regular time. Ang beginning inventory daw natin ay 0 and ending inventory sa last period natin is 0. Okay, so now, ano daw yung given sa atin na forecast demand or the requirement? So meron po tayo dito na okay, so as mentioned sa problem, meron tayong 200, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 200 with a total of 1,800 units na requirement natin na ma-produce. Okay, so yan yung sinasabi dyan sa problem. Ngayon, sabi sa atin ay meron din daw po tayong beginning inventory na 0 for the first period and meron din daw po tayong ending inventory na 0 sa last period. Ano pang sabi dyan sa atin? Okay, so sabi sa atin may steady rate of regular time output daw po tayo. Okay, sorry, unahin pala muna natin yung cost. So sa cost natin, eto yan, saan daw? Meron daw tayo regular time. So ang cost po natin, nakalagay naman dito kung ano lang yung mga components ng ating cost, the regular, overtime, subcontract, inventory cost, and back order. So dito po sa cost natin, nagbabari po yan depending sa problem natin. Pero in this particular problem, we only have here the regular, overtime, subcontracting, inventory, and back order. So yan lang po yung given cost sa atin. So that's why yan lang po yung meron tayo dito. So lahat po ng yan ay ilalagay natin kung ano yung given sa ating cost per unit yan. So again, in this problem solving, already given na po yung mga cost natin. But in real life application, we need to determine those costs per unit. Okay? So we have here, sa regular 2, overtime $3, subcontract $6, inventory 1, and back order ay 5. So inilalagay na natin yan diyan para po mamaya madali na as the multiplier for the quantity po natin para dyan sa mga cost na yan. Okay, so ano pong next natin? Sabi nga po, after natin ma-input yung ating forecasted value, na-input na din natin yung ating cost. Anong sunod dito sa problem? Naka-steady rate daw in regular time output yung ating magiging output. Wherein, ang atin daw pong output for regular time ay 300 units. So dito sa tapat ng regular, maglalagay daw po tayo ng 300 units. Steady rate. Ibig sabihin, equal lang sa lahat ng period. And then again, kukunin natin yung total. So ang total po niyan ay 1,800. So class, dito po sa part na ito, ayan. So, sa part po na yan, dito, ayan. Lahat po mula sa forecast demand natin and then yung output, yung ating regular, which is yung R, overtime, OT, subcontract SC, lahat po ng pag-i-input natin dyan is per row. As you can see, inisa-isa natin yan per row, yung sa lahat ng period, yung forecast demand, and then yung ating regular. So, ngayon class, ang atin pong first step is, wag natin kakalimutan tong general procedure ha. Wait lang, nagtatago. Okay, so sabi sa general procedure natin ay i-determine natin yung demand. Check, okay na tayo dito. And also, we need to determine our capacities. Check din, okay na tayo dito. Meron na tayong capacities na ilagay natin sa atin pong regular. Okay, dito. Ngayon class, 'di ba, ang sabi ko sa inyo, kapag na-determine natin yung demand and also our capacity, kailangan po na mapagbangga natin and ma-meet natin or ma-satisfy yung demand natin. So, we need to double check kung equal na po itong forecast demand and the total output natin. Okay? But as you can see, hindi pa natin nalalagyan ng total yung ating output. So, for overtime and subcontract, wala po tayong na-mention dyan. So, ibig sabihin ay 0. So, now, makukuha na natin yung total output natin. Again, regular plus overtime plus subcontract. So, meron tayo dito na equivalent lang din naman doon sa regular since wala nga tayong overtime and subcontract. So, what I mean, again kanina, kailangan po ay equal yung ating output and then yung ating forecast demand. Ano, para masabi natin na nasatisfy natin yung forecast demand natin. So now, as you can see, equal po yan. Ano, so wala tayong problema dyan. Hindi natin kailangan mag-overtime or subcontract, mag-hire ng workers kasi equal yung ating output and forecast demand. So ngayon, focus muna tayo dito sa simple example na ito na nag-equal yung ating output and forecast demand. So, okay na tayong inputan ng data, itong lahat ng part na kailangan ay per row yung ating pag-i-input ng data. So, kompleto na yan. Puntahan na natin yung sunod, yung output forecast natin. So, nakalagay naman dyan, output minus forecast. So, ima-minus lang po natin yung forecast demand natin doon sa output natin. So, we have here, for the first one, we have 300. Ayan, 300. Sorry, dapat dito yung formula niyan. Ayan. Wait lang ha. Okay, so we have here 300 minus 200. Ang ating pong output forecast for the first period is 100. So kung kanina, yung nasa taas, ito, yung mga part na yan, ay pinilapan po natin ng per row. Yung mga susunod naman po is per column na tayo. Ano, iisa-isahin na natin per period yung paglalagay natin ng values. Okay, so again, dito po sa output forecast natin, sa first period, we have 100. And then for the next one, 300 minus 200, we have 100. Then the next one, 300 minus 200, we have 0. And then for the next one, we have 300 minus 400, so we have negative 100. And then for the next one, 300 minus 500, so we have negative 200. And then we have, for the last period, we have 300 minus 200, so meron po tayong 100. So as you can see, meron po tayong positive and negative answer. So ano po ang sinasabi niyan? So, ibig sabihin, kapag positive yung result ng ating output minus forecast, ibig sabihin, meron po tayong excess na napoproduce out of our target demand. Ano, may nagiging labis tayo, may nagiging stocks tayo, ano, may magiging inventory po tayo. Pero kung siya po ay nag-negative, ibig sabihin, mas mababa po yung ating na-produce na output comparing po doon sa ating requirement or sa demand. So, yun lang naman yung ibig sabihin noon. And also, to double check class, kung nasa-satisfy ba natin yung ating forecasted demand through our output, dapat po yung total ng ating output forecast, eto, ay equivalent to 0. Okay, yan. Wait lang. Yan. So, ibig sabihin kasi niyan ay balance or equal yung ating forecast demand and yung ating output. Kapag 0 yung ating total dyan. Okay. So, okay na tayo sa output forecast. Puntahan naman po natin yung inventory. Wherein sa inventory po, ang under niya is the beginning, ending, and average inventory. So, sa beginning inventory, so meron po tayo ditong note. Ayan, so actually ito yung note natin. Makikisulat po ako at makikitandaan. So babasahin ko na din lahat. Ano? So ito actually ay na-mention ko na din naman po doon sa ating discussion ng yung slides natin, yung pinresent ko po sa inyo. So kumbaga ito lang po yung summary. Ano? So sa beginning inventory po natin, it is equivalent to previous ending inventory. Okay, again, beginning inventory of the current period is equivalent to previous ending inventory. For the backlogs naman po, so in computation of backlogs, so ito po ay, for us to compute, we have a formula of OF, output minus forecast, plus beginning inventory. Now, if the result is positive, so yung ating po magiging backlog is equivalent to 0. And then, if the result is negative, absolute value lang po tayo nang na-compute natin na backlogs value. Okay? And then, in addition, for the backlogs, if the previous period has backlog and the output forecast is positive, yung difference po noon will be the ending inventory of the current period. But, if the previous backlog and current output minus forecast is equal, both current ending inventory and current backlog will be 0. Okay. So later, during the discussion na ng ating table, mas maintindihan naman yan. And then, yung computation naman natin ng ending inventory, ang formula po natin ay, sorry, hindi ko pala naisama. So nandito naman, nakasulat naman po yun sa table nyo. So makikilagyan na lang ako ng previous backlog if ever na wala pong backlog na nakasulat. So ang ating pong ending inventory, ang formula po natin is output forecast plus beginning inventory minus previous backlog. So ibig sabihin, dinidetermine lang po natin kung ilan po yung natirang inventory or stocks. Given that, yung output minus forecast natin ay yung difference po ng ating na-produce at yung ating demand. So, chinecheck natin ilan ba yung natira doon sa ating na-produce given that na-satisfy na natin yung requirement for that period. Plus, yung beginning inventory natin, yung natira ng previous period. Minus yung previous backlog na kailangan din nating isatisfy. So ngayon, sa ending inventory, ilan pa ba yung stocks na natitira sa atin given that we already satisfied the requirement of the current period and also the backlog for the previous period. Okay? And if ever class that we encountered negative value of ending inventory, we will change it to 0. Kasi class, it is essential or needed po natin makompute yung tamang average inventory. Ngayon, kapag po tayo ay may negative value ng ending inventory, magmamali na po yung ating average inventory. And also, wala naman po tayong negative inventory. So, ang ibig sabihin lang po ng negative inventory is may kakulangan tayo, may backlog po tayo. So, it will reflect na po doon sa ating backlog and not on the inventory. Okay? So, with that, if we encountered negative ending inventory, we need to change it to 0. Okay? And then lastly is for the average inventory, it is beginning inventory plus ending inventory divided by 2. So that's the formula po natin or yung mga notes po natin dito sa aggregate planning. So hopefully clear po tayo. So those items po ang kailangan ninyong tandaan. So yan naman po ay madaling tandaan through practice. Binigyan ko na kayo ng template so you can practice po yung application natin for aggregate planning. Okay. Okay. So medyo nakakaubos pala ng energy mag-explain. So we have here let's start na ulit dito. Balikan natin yung beginning inventory natin. So again, meron naman tayo dito naka-state sa problem that the beginning inventory is equivalent to 0. Now, next natin is the ending inventory. Sabi ko nga, it is output minus forecast plus beginning inventory minus previous backlog. So we have here 100 output minus forecast plus 0 na beginning inventory minus previous backlog. So as you can see, wala naman na-mention na may backlog daw on previous period. So with that, yung atin din pong previous period is equivalent to 0. So with that, ang answer po natin for the ending inventory is equal to 100. And then, ang next naman po natin, since tayo nga po ay naka-per period na ngayon ng pag-determine ng mga values. So for the average, anong formula natin? Beginning inventory plus ending inventory divided by 2. So we have 0 plus 100, we have, divided by 2, we have 50. Okay, so okay na tayo dito. So tatapusin muna ulit natin lahat itong inventory and backlogs before po natin puntahan yung atin pong yung atin pong cost. Okay, so next po natin. Ang next po natin, ang backlogs. Ang formula po natin dyan is, sabi ko nga kanina dito ay OF plus beginning inventory. So we have here equals nung ating output minus forecast plus yung atin pong beginning inventory. So we have here 100. Okay, so we have 100 plus 0. So ang backlog po natin ay 100. Pero sabi dito, if the result is positive, ang atin pong backlog ay magiging 0. Okay, so akin lang pong so itatype ko na lang dito yung 0. Papalitan lang natin yung 100. So okay na tayo sa period 1. Let's move po sa period 2. Period 2, beginning inventory. So sabi po, ang beginning inventory natin is equivalent to previous period ending inventory. So we have previous period ending inventory natin ay 100. So ang beginning inventory natin ng period 2 ay 100. And then next, for the ending inventory naman natin, so again, susundan lang natin yung formula. So we have OF plus beginning inventory minus previous backlog. Ang atin pong magiging ending inventory is 200. So kung kayo po ay nabibilisan sa akin, pwede nyo namang i-pause ang ating recorded para makapag-compute muna kayo. Better to compute in actual. Hindi yung sulat lang ng sulat para po at least ma-practice nyo kung paano talaga siya ginagawa. And then next po natin is the average. So yung average po natin is, again, beginning plus ending divided by 2. So we have here 150. Okay. And then for the backlogs, again, we have here the output forecast plus beginning natin. So we have here, sorry, nag-true. Mali yung aking formula. Okay. Ayan. So we have here positive 200 kasi 100 plus 100. So since positive po yan, gagawin lang natin siyang 0. Okay. Next. So for the beginning inventory ng third period, equivalent lang siya sa ending ng kung ilan lang po yung ating natirang inventory noong last period, which is equivalent ng 200. Okay. For the next one naman po, ang ending naman po natin ng next period is output minus forecast 0 plus 200 minus nung ating backlog nung previous period, we have 200. So, ibig sabihin, after po ng first, second, at nung pangatlong period, meron tayong natitira pang 200. Kasi class, as you can see, ang ating forecast demand ng hanggang third period ay ang total natin ay 700. 200 plus 200 plus 300. Pero ilan na po yung ating na-produce? 300 plus 300 plus 300. Total na siya ng 900. So, ibig sabihin, may labis tayong 200. May stocks tayong 200. Okay, so yun yung ibig sabihin yan, ha? Okay, next. Next po natin is the average. So, we have 200 plus 200 divided by 2. So, we have 200. And then, yung backlogs naman natin is, we have equals lang natin ng beginning plus output forecast natin. So, we have positive value. So, again, gagawin lang natin siyang 0. So, next po tayo, fourth period, beginning inventory, equal lang siya sa ending inventory ng previous period. And then, for the ending inventory, we have OF na negative 100 plus beginning na 200 minus backlog na 0, previous backlog na 0. So, we have positive 100. And then, for our average, 200 plus 100 divide 2, meron tayong 150. And then, for the next one, ang backlog naman po natin, so we have here, equals po natin, output forecast plus beginning inventory natin. So, meron tayong positive 100. So, ibig sabihin, ang backlog natin ay 0. So, as you can see, mula period 1 hanggang period 4, 0 ang backlog natin. Ibig sabihin, nasa-satisfy pa natin yung demand on time. Okay? Wala pa tayong nagiging kakulangan sa pinoproduce nating product. Buwan-buwan, sakto, or hindi naman sakto kasi may labis tayo sa ending inventory. What I mean, nasa-satisfy at nade-deliver on time lahat ng requirements or napoproduce on time lahat ng requirements. Okay? Let's proceed sa next ano po natin, period. So, beginning inventory ng fifth period natin is equivalent to 100, yung previous ng fourth period. So, nag-start tayo ng peak period na meron na tayo agad na 100 na units. Okay, 100 tractors. Kahit hindi pa tayo nakakapag-produce, meron pa tayong stocks na 100 noong peak period. Okay, and then, for the beginning inventory naman natin, sorry, ending inventory naman po natin. Okay, so ending inventory po natin is, we have 200, negative 200 plus 100 minus 0, meron po tayong negative 100. Pero, since sabi ko nga kanina, for ending inventory, if we encountered negative value, we will change it to 0. Kasi it just means that we are just lacking in inventory. So, yun po ay doon napapasok sa backlog. So, sa ending inventory, we will reflect it as 0. Okay, and then for the average, we have 100 plus 0 divided by 2. So yes, kahit po yan ay 0, i-average pa din po natin. So based on my confirmation din po, actually dinouble check ko to kasi noong una kong tingin is bakit nga ba siya i-average given that yung isa is 0 na. So 'di ba dapat automatic na siya ay kung ano na lang yung value. So hindi po, dapat pala talaga siya ay i-divide by 2. So that's the based on the reference book po natin. Okay? So ganun po yung ating gagawin. And then for the backlog, so we have here equals po natin ng output minus forecast plus the beginning inventory natin. So, ang answer po natin is negative 100. But sabi dito sa notes natin, if we encountered negative result, so, change po natin yung value into absolute value of that negative backlog. So, simply gagawin lang natin tong positive 100. Okay. And then for the next one naman po, for the beginning inventory, so, equivalent lang po siya sa 0 kasi ang ending natin ng previous period is equal to 0. And then, for the next one, so yung ending po natin dito is since may backlog po tayo ng previous period, ibig sabihin, kasi 'di ba ito, yung first to fifth period, ang total demand po natin is 1,600. 200 plus 200 plus 300 plus 400 plus 500 is 1,600. Pero yung naging output po natin is 1,500 lang. So, ibig sabihin, may kakulangan tayong 100 para doon sa ating demand. So, yun po yung nandito sa backlog natin. So, since meron tayong lacking na 100 sa backlogs natin, ang ending inventory po natin ay nakabase sa ating magiging difference ng backlogs natin and ng output forecast. So, dito, sabi ko nga, sa notes natin, if the previous period has backlog and the output minus forecast is positive, which is, dito tama yan, ang peak period may backlog tayong 100, and then, yung atin naman pong output forecast ng 6th period ay may positive OF value tayo. So, anong gagawin? Pag mayroon daw, the difference will be the ending inventory of the current period. But if previous backlog and current OF is equal, both current inventory and current backlog will be 0. So, as you can see, equal po yung ating OF and backlog value. So, with that, yung atin pong ending inventory is 0, and then yung atin pong magiging backlog for the current period ay magiging 0 din. Okay? And for the average, since 0 naman po yung beginning and ending natin, magiging 0 din po iyan. And then, we need to get yung total values po natin for the average and backlogs. Kasi ito lang naman yung kailangan natin later sa computation. Yung atin pong average value and yung atin pong backlogs. Okay, so tapos na tayo ngayon to determine yung mga values that we need as multiplier for the unit cost po natin dito. So ngayon, iisa-isahin lang po ulit natin yan. So for the first period, ano daw yung ating regular time or regular number of units? We have 300. Ito. 300 times natin sa 2. So, we have 600. And then, ano pa yung next natin? 300 lang naman ito lahat. Ayan. So, i-multiply lang natin lahat dito sa 2. Okay, so with that, ang magiging answer po natin is same lang sa lahat ng period, 600, wherein ang total po natin is equivalent to 3,600. Ito. Okay, so we can double check kung tama po yung ating mga values dito through computing yung ating pong total dito. Ito. Yan, yung total sa regular natin, 1,800, i-multiply po natin dito sa cost. So, dapat siya ay equal dito sa 3,600, which is correct. 1,800 times 2, so equals po siya sa 3,600. So, yun po ay way natin to double check. Kasi, yes, hindi naman perfecto, nagkakamali minsan kayo ng pindot sa calcu. So, siguro sa ganitong pagkakataon na naka-level yung values natin, pwedeng hindi kayo magkamali. Pero, mas madaling i-check kung tama or mali yung mga values ninyo. Pero, papaano na kung tayo i-chase, paiba-iba na yung value. So, ito yung ating checking point, para po maiwasan natin yung mga errors natin. And then, for the next one, so, dito sa overtime naman natin, so since 0 po iyan lahat, so 0 times 3, so meron po tayo magiging result dyan na 0 lang din po. Ang subcontract po natin ay 0 din. So with that, 0 lang din po yung values natin dito. For the inventory, again, yung inventory po natin is, ang atin pong multiplier dyan is the average values ng inventory natin. So i-multiply lang po natin itong $1 dito po sa per period na average inventory. 50, 150, 200, 150, 50, and 0. So we have here, so, since 1 lang naman yung multiplier, so same values lang po tayo. And then, yung total po natin is, same lang ng total ng average natin na 600. And, eto po, ayan. So, 600 yung total natin na inventory cost. And then for the back order cost naman natin, so back order cost natin, so kukuhanin natin siya sa backlog. So saang period lang ba tayo may backlogs? Dito lang naman po sa fifth period. So yan lang po yung may magkakabalyo tayo. So we have 100 na backlogs, multiply natin sa back order cost na $5 per unit. So meron po tayong $500 na back order cost. And then yung remaining po natin na mga periods ay 0 lang po. So meron tayong total na back order cost na 500. So with that, makukuha na natin yung total cost. I-add lang po natin ito. So ang total cost po natin ay ayan, 4,700. So, given this situation, tapos ang naging strategy po natin is level strategy. Tapos ay, wala po tayong mga naging overtime kasi ang capacity natin is 300. Okay? Given that we have 15 workers. So, ang total cost po natin is 4,700. Okay. So, ngayon, paano naman po kapag naiba yung considerations natin? So, okay, tandaan nyo, 4,700 yung cost natin dyan. Okay, so sabi, yung next natin, using the same problem, so after reviewing the plan developed in preceding example, planners have decided to develop an alternative plan. They have learned that one person is about to retire from the company. So rather than replace that person, they would like to stay up or to stay with a smaller workforce and use overtime to make up for the lost output. So the reduced regular time output is 280 units per period and the maximum output of overtime output per period is 40 units. Develop a plan and compare it to the previous one. So paano kaya nangyari na 280 units yung naging capacity na lang nung ating buong process? So given kanina class na meron daw tayong 300 units na napoproduce ng 15 workers. So ibig sabihin, kada worker daw ay meron lang silang napoproduce na 20 units. So ngayon, sabi, nawala daw yung isang worker or nag-retire. So since umalis yung isang worker, ang natira na lang na kayang capacity ng 14 workers, 14 times 20 is 280 units. So may kakulangan tayo ngayon na 20 units for every period or equivalent siya sa 120 kasi meron tayong 6 periods. So ngayon, to satisfy that lacking 120 units ay magkakaroon na lang daw ng overtime wherein ang capacity po nila na overtime is 40 units. Okay. So ngayon, same naman tayo ng mga given. So babalik lang natin yung cost natin. Ayan, so may cost tayo dito, yung 23615. And then, yung forecast demand natin ay same lang din naman. But for the regular output daw natin ay magiging 280 na lang. So, meron tayo 1,800 minus 1,680. Kasi yung ating 280 times 6 ay 1,680. Meron tayong kakulangan na 120. So, yung 120 pong yan, ang kailangan natin masatisfy sa overtime. Pero sabi dito ay okay, the maximum amount of overtime output per period is 40 units. So ngayon, yung 120 yan, kung atin pong gagawing overtime, ay ilang period ba natin po pwedeng gawin? So we have yung 120 divided by 40. So ibig sabihin, kailangan natin magkaroon ng tatlong overtime, tatlong period na may overtime para mabuo natin yung 120 na lacking sa requirements or sa demand. So in considering plus kung saan po tayo mag-a-add ng overtime, we need to check yung ating demand. Saan po ba tayo may pinakamataas na demand? So as you can see, ang may pinakamataas po tayong demand dito is period 5, period 4, and period 3. So ang kailangan lang naman natin is 3 months or 3 period na mag-aala tayo ng tigpo 40 na overtime. So saan tayo maglalagay? So doon po sa na-mention ko na mga periods na meron tayong mataas na demand. So yun yung hierarchy ng pagpili kung saan tayo maglalagay ng overtime. Maliban na lang kung minention mismo sa problem kung saang period tayo maglalagay ng overtime. Okay? Pero yun po ang kadalasan. Doon tayo may overtime sa mataas na demand. Okay? So ngayon, nalagyan na natin ng overtime ang period 3, period 4, and period 5 with a total of 120. So ang ating naman pong subcontract is 0, wala naman. So ang ating pong magiging total output ay we have 280 sa first period, second period 280, third, fourth, and fifth ay magiging 280 plus 40, so we have 320, and sixth period na 280, a total of 1,800. So again, ang ating checking point dito is kung equal na po yung ating forecast demand and yung total output. So since equal na tayo, pwede na po tayo mag-proceed sa atin pong output forecast. Okay na tayo sa pag-i-input po natin ng pa-horizontal, ng per row. Ngayon naman po ay per period naman yung ating inputting ng mga susunod na items. Okay, so dito na po tayo sa output forecast. So, we have output ng first period na 280 minus forecast na 200. Meron tayong output na 80. And then, kukuhanin lang po natin class lahat po nung values ng output minus forecast natin. So, as you can see, ang total po nung ating lahat ng output forecast is equivalent to 0. So, ito po, again, checking point po natin na tama at nasatisfy po natin yung ating demand, true or output. Okay. Sige, so since na-discuss ko na naman po sa inyo kanina paano isolve yung output minus forecast, hindi ko na siya inisa-isa ha para ma-lessen po yung time ng recording. Okay, so next tayo sa inventory na isa-isahin ulit natin ang beginning, ending, average, and also the backlogs. So dito, sa beginning po natin, so nasabi naman sa problem kanina na 0, and then yung ending po natin is equivalent lang po tayo ng output minus forecast plus beginning minus the previous backlog. So we have here 80, and yung atin pong average ay 0 plus 80 divide 2, we have 40. Yung backlogs naman po natin ay, so we have here the output forecast plus beginning backlogs po natin ay positive 80. Kaya gagawin po natin siyang 0. Okay. Then the next one, beginning po natin is previous or the ending inventory ng previous period. So we have here 80. And then yung ending naman po natin ay magiging 80 plus 80 minus 0, we have 160. Or better class, i-pause nyo muna itong recorded ko and itry nyo pong isolve yung beginning, ending, average, and backlogs natin for you to check kung naintindihan nyo po yung first example natin. Kasi same process naman po ito. Ang naiiba lang dyan class is itong taas kung paano natin ito gagawin. Pero yung proseso kung paano po tayo maglalagay ng beginning, ending, average, and backlogs sa lahat ng strategy ay common naman po. Okay? Again, pwede nyo i-pause at i-check po later kung tama yung inyong nasolve na mga values. Okay, so for the next one, we have here average na 120 and then yung backlogs po natin dito is equal to 0. Okay, wait lang. So, lalagyan ko na ito para mas mabilis. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, since positive 160 po ito, ang gagawin natin siyang 0. Okay, and then we have for beginning inventory, 160. And then ending inventory naman po natin is equivalent to 180. Simply 20 plus 160 plus minus 0, we have 180. Ang average po natin, 160 plus 180 divided by 2, we have 170. And then, we have a backlog value of positive 180. So, with that, gagawin lang natin siyang 0. Okay, and then for the fourth period, beginning inventory, meron po tayong 180. And then, next po natin, ending inventory po natin is 100. Coming from negative 80 plus 180 minus 0, we have positive 100. Okay, and then, average po natin, 180 plus 100 divided by 2, meron po tayong 140. And then, for our backlogs, negative 80 plus 180, meron tayong positive 100. So, gagawin lang natin siyang 0. So, next, for the fifth period, beginning inventory, we have 100. And then, for the ending inventory, so we have here okay, so we have here negative. So we have negative 180 plus 100 minus 0. Ang answer po natin is negative 80. So again, based on our notes po dito, once ang ending inventory natin is negative, we need to change it 0 because it only implies that we have lacking on our output comparing on our requirement or total demand. Since dito class, sa first to fifth period ay meron tayong total requirement or demand na 1,600. But in terms of output, ang total po natin ay 1,520 lang. So meron tayong kakulangan na 80. So that lacking 80 units ay it will reflect on the backlog. So with that, the ending inventory will be equal to 0. Okay, and then for the average, we have 100 plus 0 divided by 2, we have 50. And for the backlog value, so we have output forecast of negative 180 plus 100. And then, ang ating pong result is negative 80. And based on our notes, once na ang ating pong backlog is equivalent to negative, so we will change it into absolute value of that negative backlog value. So we have here positive 80. So once na nakuha na po natin yan, we can now proceed on our last period. Okay, last na. So for our last period beginning inventory, so it is equal to 0. And then for the ending inventory, so for this one, since we have the backlogs for the previous period and also our output forecast is positive, so the ending inventory will be based on the result of output forecast minus backlogs, so previous backlog. So since output forecast of the current period is equivalent to the previous period backlog, so with that, the ending inventory of the current period and the backlog of the current period will be equal to 0. Okay? So 0 din po ito. And then for the average, so we have here 0. So 0 plus 0 divided by 2, so we have 0. And then we need to get the total of the average and the backlogs. So for us to use these values in checking of the computation natin for the cost. Okay? Since we already have the values for the upper part, we can now compute for the cost of this plan. Okay? So for the first period, or for the regular time, so multiply lang natin yung $2 per unit for regular. Doon po sa mga values natin dito sa regular na 280, 280 hanggang 6 period. So we have here 560 per period and then yung total po natin ay 3,360. And then for the overtime, so overtime natin is on period 3, 4, and 5. So doon lang tayo magkaka-values and we need to multiply that 40 units per period to the overtime cost na 3. So we have here 120, 120, 120 sa third, fourth, and fifth period with a total of 360. And then, for the next one, sa subcontract po natin, since we do not have any subcontract, so 0 lang po yan. Inventory cost naman natin, ang multiplier natin is the average. Multiply sa $1. So we have here, copy lang natin yon. So we have 40, 120, 170, 140, 50, and 0 with a total of 520. And lastly, since tayo po ay may backlog sa fifth period, multiply lang natin sa back order cost natin na $5 per unit. So we have here $400 on the fifth period with a total of 400. And ang overall total cost po natin for this plan is 4,640. So as you can see, mas nakamura po tayo ng around $60 comparing to the first option natin na 4,700 na meron tayong 15 workers. So mas tipid po pala kung meron na lang tayo, given this situation na meron na lang tayong 14 workers and then we will utilize overtime during the periods na meron tayong mataas na demand. So we have here $4,640 na total cost. Okay, so yan po yung second option natin, second alternative. So now, meron pa tayong susunod. Okay, so ang third option naman po natin ay ito. So pwede kayong, I will encourage po na ang lahat is basahin itong question and then try to answer nung kayo lang. I-pause nyo muna ito. So i-try nyo pong i-answer ng kayo lang para ma-test ninyo kung naiintindihan po ba ninyo or hindi yung ating mga naunang discussion. And okay lang na magkamali kasi tayo naman ay nasa sa pag-aaral pa lang na stage. At least, once na kayo po ay nagkamali, lesson learned sa inyo iyon. So dito, sa example natin or sa third option natin, we will use temporary workers to fill in during months of high demand. And suppose that it costs an additional $100 to hire and train a temporary worker, and that temporary worker can produce at a rate of 15 units per period. So compared with 20 units per period of regular workers, develop a plan and compare it also to previous plans. So dito, as you can see, 'di ba kanina may lacking worker nga po tayo. And then, meron po tayo nag-retire. So now, ang naging option po dito with that retirement is mag-hire po ng workers. So wala tayong overtime dito. Mag-hire tayo ng workers to satisfy that demand. So actually, we can consider this at ang tawag dito, ayun po, we need to determine the number of workers na kailangan nating i-hire. Given that, sabi ko nga sa inyo, once na tayo nag-hire ng workers, palagi po mas mababa yung capacity niyan to produce. Why? Because bago pa lang, hindi pa siya ganoon ka trained and also knowledgeable within the process. So, that's why, nagkakaroon talaga ng cases na mas kokonti yung kaya niya pong maging output. So, given this, kung kanina, ang per workers natin ay may 20 units na output, dito po ay, ang temporary worker natin na i-hire ay 15 units per period lang yung kaya niyang output. Okay? So, let's check, paano ba natin to gagawin? So, ito yung ating given kanina, ibabalik ko lang for the workers. Okay, so meron tayong mga cost, sorry, for the cost pala. And then, nagdagdag lang po tayo dito ng hiring. Hiring cost natin ay 100 per worker. So check natin saan bang period tayo magdadagdag ng workers. And then, meron po tayong given kanina na demand with a total of 1,800. And sabi, meron pa din daw po tayo, or ang kailangan po natin to determine is kung saan po tayo magdadagdag ng workers and kung ilan. So kanina, as you can see, meron po tayo, ilan nga yun, 280 per period na kayang i-produce times 6 natin. So we have 1,680. So that 1,680, okay, so yung 1,680 natin, may gap or difference siya na 120 dito sa 1,800. So we have here equals 1,800 minus 1,680. Meron po tayo na 120 na difference. So itong 120 ito, class ay, sabi natin, kapag nag-hire tayo is, ang kaya lang niya i-produce is 15 units. So, yung 120 natin, so equals natin, yung 120 divided by 15 units, ang kailangan daw natin is supposedly 8 workers. Kung sa isang period lang natin siya ilalagay. Pero, we can utilize or pwede naman po nating hatiin ito para hindi 8 workers yung ating i-hire. So, during the peak demand po natin, or sabi nga dito, a third option is to use temporary workers to fill in during months of high demand. So, saan po ba tayo dito may high demands? So, kanina dito sa 300, 400, and 500. Pero actually, pwede naman natin i-utilize na lang itong 500 and 400. Dito tayo kailangan magdagdag ng workers natin, temporary workers natin. So, instead po na 8 workers yung ating i-hire, pwede naman po na ang gawin natin is, yung 120 is i-divide natin dito sa dalawang period na yan. So, paano natin siya gagawin? Okay, so as you can see, dito po, sa period 4 and 5, naging 340 yung capacity. The regular output. So, paano po nangyari yan? So, di ba, yung 120 po natin, pwede po natin siyang hatiin into 2. Okay, so, nagdagdag po tayo ngayon dito ng 4 na workers. Dito po sa period 4. Dito tayo nagsimula mag-add ng 4 workers. So, ngayon, yung 4 workers po natin ay, meron po yung capacity na 4 times 15, may production output po yan na total of 60. So, yung 280 plus 60, equivalent po siya sa 340. So, now, upon hiring po natin dito sa 4th period, kapag yun pong mga taong iyon ay nag-continue ng work hanggang 5th period, hindi na po natin kailangan magdagdag ng panibagong payment for hiring process. Unlike po dito kasi sa situation na ito, gagastos lang po tayo ng hiring sa 4 workers sa 4th period. Unlike po kung halimbawang ang gagawin natin ay isahang baksak. Halimbawa, dito lang sa 5th period natin, gagawin lahat yung additional na 120. Kailangan natin mag-hire ng 8 workers ng sabay-sabay, which is mas mataas po magiging cost niya at magiging $800 given that 8 workers multiply sa $100 na hiring cost. So, $800 yun. So, better na hinati natin yung 120 na tig 60 na lang yung ipoproduce. With that, pwedeng 4 workers lang po yung i-add natin. And with that, mas mababa po yung ating magiging hiring cost. Kasi 4 times 100 lang yun. So, ganito po yung ginawa natin. Alam ko sa inyo, marami mako-confuse. Why not, ma'am, kung halimbawang gawin na lang natin is yung 8 ay hatiin natin sa 4 na period para dalawa na lang po yung ating i-hire na tao. So, di ba pwede naman yun? Halimbawa, start tayo dito sa period 2. Okay, tapos ay gagawin po nating tigda dalawa or dalawang tao na lang yung i-a-add natin para still masatisfy pa din. Halimbawa sa period 2, add lang tayo ng 30 units tapos ay sa apat na period na yan, equivalent pa din naman sa 120 units yung pwede nating idagdag. Yes po, pwede naman yon. But we need to check alin yung mas mababa yung cost. Kaya nga lang dito kasi na-mention na sa high demand lang po pwede. Hindi din naman natin mahahati ng equal kung halimbawang itong tatlong ito yung ating gagamitin. So actually doon po sa reference book natin talagang ang ginamit ay itong port and pip. Huwag kayong mag-alala if ever na may ganito pong situation sa magiging assessment task ninyo, siguro we will be na lang din, we will provide kung hanggang sa ang highest demand po yung kailangan ninyo magdagdag ng tao para hindi kayo ma-confuse. So maybe, doon po sa book natin, sorry hindi ko lang dinatry yung mga options na yun, kung halimbawa 2 tao lang or 3 tao na lang yung idadagdag, kaya nga lang maiiba yung number of periods na kailangan dagdagan ng output. So ito lang yung aking na-try, pero again, the consideration is the total cost. Kung alin yung may pinakamababang cost, edi yun yung may pinaka-okay. So okay lang kung ilang tao yung ating idagdag as long as, or saang period tayo magi-start, as long as na masasatisfy pa din natin yung demand at meron po tayong mababang total cost. Okay, so yun naman palagi yung ating ending point, decision point. Okay, so but in this one, we will focus on this additional workers for workers natin during high demand ng period 4 and period 5. Okay, so once na settle na po natin ito, ano nang next natin? So we need to determine yung mga values na susunod. So since wala tayong overtime at subcontract, so 0 na po ito. Now, okay na tayo dito sa per row na ating mga ini-inputan. Let's proceed sa per column. Dito po sa output minus forecast. So again, since na-settle na natin itong upper part natin, same process lang naman yung mga nasa baba natin. Please try to pause and then answer po. Okay? And then after nyo po ma-answer, check nyo po kung tama yung answer ninyo. Okay? So hindi ko na po iisa-isahin yung process natin. So I will show na lang po yung ating mga values na computed dito. So for output minus forecast, again simply output values, ma-minus lang po natin dito sa forecast value. Yung total output minus forecast. Yun po yung magiging result nito. Okay, and then for the total value natin, 0, as checking point po natin na nasatisfy natin yung forecasted demand. Okay, and then for the beginning inventory, so for the first period natin, so ito po yung mga values natin. So we have beginning inventory na 0, ending inventory natin na 80, average po natin na 40, and then backlogs natin, since positive, magiging 0. And then we have here, beginning 80, ending po natin na 160, average 120, backlog since positive, magiging 0. And then, we have here, beginning 160, average, ending po natin is 140, and then average is 150, and backlog since positive, magiging 0. And then, we have here, beginning 140, and then ending po natin is positive 80, with an average of 110, and backlog since positive, magiging 0. And then, next po, we have here, beginning 80, ending po natin is, So ending po natin supposedly is negative 80, but since it will reflect on the backlogs na po natin, magiging 0 po yung ending inventory natin, and average po natin is equivalent to 40. And then yung backlogs po natin, ang nakalagay dito is negative 80. So with that, since siya po ay galing sa, sige, pakita natin. So we have here, output forecast plus beginning inventory. So siya po ay negative 80. So with that, siya po ay gagawin nating positive 80. Okay, so now since we have here backlogs and a positive value of the output forecast, yung atin po magiging ending inventory and backlogs ay nakadepende dito. So since equal po yan, ang ating pong ending inventory is 0 and the backlogs and 0. And then para dito sa hindi ko na mention, the beginning inventory is 0 also and the average is 0. And we need to determine the total average and backlogs. Okay, so we have 460 and 80. So now we can compute po doon sa ating mga cost. So kindly compute, so ito po yung magiging result niyan. Okay, so yan naman ay doon lang sa regular, yung atin pong regular cost, and then overtime, wala tayong overtime, subcontract, 0 din po. And then inventory cost natin, multiplier naman natin ay yung average lang, 40, 120, 150, 110, 40, 0 with a total of 460. And then for the back order, we have 80 times 5, we have 400. And meron po tayong dinagdag na hiring cost noong period 4 na 4 na workers ang hinire po natin with a total of 400. So ang atin po, magiging total cost dito is 4,860. Okay po. So, ayun po yung ating computation. So, ikakat ko po muna ang ating recorded. Meron pa tayo actually na isang problem na merong 2 options. So, for the next recorded na lang po iyon. Okay? So, if you have any questions po, ay i-PM nyo lang ako or mag-chat sa ating GC. Ayun, thank you for listening.